Welcome to this second portion of the notes for Chapter 1. In this video, we're going to learn about the topic of adjective agreement. And we will be working from chart number 2, from your grammar charts, using the endings that we learned in the previous notes session. In other words, those endings. Really, actually, what we're using is chart number 3 down here. You will notice that the endings for an adjective us, are the same as the endings for a noun, just in a slightly different order. Here the us is second, and then the a is first, and then the is still last. So these are conventions for how we write endings. In a dictionary, us, a, with the masculine one first is more common. But when we're doing charts, it's more common to put the feminine one first, because that's the first declension, which is simplest. So really, these are the same thing. And so go ahead and freely confuse them all that you want. Okay, so hopefully you learned those endings in the previous video. And today we're going to deal with the topic of adjective agreement. Which form of this adjective, us, a, or any of the other ones below it, that's what this star means, that it could be o, a, o, or e, I, a in the plurals. Which form of an adjective do we use to match a given form of a noun, whether it be a feminine singular noun or a neuter plural noun or something else, or a masculine ablative? Okay, so our objective today is to match the correct form of an adjective to a given noun. Only one rule that we're going to follow all day today. Adjectives must agree with the nouns they modify in case, number, and gender. Now, what are the possibilities for case? Well, case can be nominative or ablative. So those are the two possibilities. What about number? Well, number can be singular, which is everything above the big, heavy dashed line, or plural, which will be everything below the dashed line. So if the noun is plural, adjective, its adjective better be plural. If the noun is nominative, its adjective better be nominative. And last off, adjectives must agree with nouns in gender. So if the noun is neuter, which we represent by gray, then the adjective better be using its neuter form, not its masculine or feminine forms. All right, so let's take a look at some examples. Here are some nouns on the right, and here are some adjectives that might match with them on the left. Notice that we typically write all the possibilities of an adjective's gender because it could vary depending which noun it's attached to. But a given noun only has one gender, and it will have that gender forever and ever. So a rex will always be masculine. All right, so what is a rex? A king. Well, blue matches with blue, or in other words, masculine matches with masculine. So you would say rex unus, not rex una, nor rex unum. No, you always want to match the gender. Masculine blue goes with masculine blue. Now, sometimes it's really easy. Us goes with us. Nominative masculine goes with nominative masculine. But in the case of rex, there is no US on the end of rex. So if these were not blue, you might not know that us and rex go together. So how do you know? Well, you just have to memorize the gender of every single noun. Now, you don't have to memorize the gender of Marcus, because you know from your charts that us is almost always masculine here, in this masculine half of the second declension. So that's a giveaway. But an irregular noun like Rex or Chloe, which happens to be a girl's name, you wouldn't know. So those are the ones that you really have to memorize it. Regina will obviously go with una, and oppidum will obviously go with unum. And we could pick a different adjective. Rex primus, first king. Regina prima, first queen. Oppidum primum, first town. Rex magnus, great king. Chloe magna, great Chloe. Oppidum magnum, great town. Okay, or big town. Now the plurals. Alright, where are these endings? E, I, ah coming from? Well, they're coming from E, I, ah, right there in the nominative plural line. So hopefully these will not throw you off. Most of the plurals are regular, E, I, ah. But you'll notice we have two irregular adjectives that have their own special set of endings. I don't know why, but they're just different. Luckily, these are rare. Okay, so if there were several Marcuses here, several boys named Marcus, we could say there are multi Marci. Or more likely, these would be people of the Gains Marcus, the Marcus clan in Rome. The first queens, Reginae Primae. 3 towns, Tria Oppida. So basically, on these irregulars, you just have to memorize O-I-O and ace-ia. Ace goes for either masculine or feminine. O goes for either masculine or neuter. Obviously, the feminine is a dead giveaway. Obviously, Reginae goes with duai. But you might not know if you saw duo that it goes with E or ah. So take note. Alright, how are you going to use these things? Short term, if you've learned this, then you'll be able to do the last group of exercises down here on the next page. Long term, you're going to need to know this to complete the writable stories. You will often see a noun linked with a dash to an adjective on the writable stories. And there will be a blank here, and you're going to have to know to write the neuter form of the adjective in the blank, which matches it, not either a masculine or feminine form. So, oppidum magnum, not the others. Alright, so let's get the hang of doing this. First group here is going to be really easy. Match the noun to the adjective it modifies. Most blanks on the writable stories will be like these. They'll be super easy. Let's see. Oppidum magnum. Europa. In fact, you might want to stop the video right now and try all these for yourself just to see how easy they are. Really, there's nothing other than matching the form to the form. And if you're saying it, matching the sound to the sound. In Roma parva. In Oppido primo. In Aegypto magno. So, really, there's nothing to these. Hopefully you can do them. Big town, 1 Europe, small Marcus, little Marcus, many towns, great numbers, few queens, and so on. In the small, in little Rome, in the first town, and so on, in Great Egypt. Let's move on to the next group. It says, match the noun to the adjective it modifies, even though the endings might not match. Oh, that was the situation up above where we had rex unus, and us does not match with x. Alright, so you may want to stop the video now and try these. If not, I'll do them. Rex, well, you would have to ask yourself, what gender, case number gender, is rex? You probably already know that it's nominative, and you probably already know that it's singular, just one of them, not many. So, really, the only thing here is gender. Rex, you would just have to know, well, if you knew it was a king, it would be masculine. So, you just have to know it's masculine, and then you would pick unus, which is the masculine one. Numeri. Well, you probably already know, oh, that's definitely masculine. That's a masculine plural ending, numeri, from your chart right there. So, numeri, you would pick the first one, duo. Literi, duai, no-brainer. Okay, down here, number 4. we mustn't forget that sometimes a single noun can have two or even more adjectives attached to it. This means two great towns. Towns is modified both by two and by great. So, what must we do here? Well, first, always start from the noun. Towns is neuter plural, so we want to pick the neuter plural form of each of them. That would be these two. Duo opida magna, two great towns. Chloe, Queen Chloe the First. Well, you'd have to ask yourself, what gender is Chloe? She's feminine, so pick that one. Chloe Prima. Okay, here's the hard part. So far, in the last group, I made it all singular or all plural. Now we're going to mix them up. I'm going to give you the dictionary entry, which is always singular. But you might have a noun which is plural. So, going back to your charts, even though I give you the singular nominative up here, you might have to modify it and make it the plural ending which matches it. So even though "a" is written, you might have to make it "I." Of course, you might also have to make it "ah," which is ablative singular. So it can be any case or number. Here we go. What are we going to do here? You might want to stop the video and try this section on your own. The answers will be towards the end of the video. So once you've done that, if you want to see the answers, fast forward. All right, first one, queens. Feminine plural. Pick the feminine ending and then make it plural. Primi. Primi. There we go. And why did we do it? Because they were both feminine plural. All right, let's go. Try a couple others. Letters. Secundi literi, the second letters. Graecia, Great Greece. What case number gender is Graecia? Well, I don't see a macron there, so it's not ablative. It's singular, because I don't see E or I. And I know that there aren't plural Greeces, so it can't be neuter plural. And what gender? Well, it ends in A, so it's probably feminine. So feminine nominative singular. We're going to pick feminine nominative singular. In insula parva. Hopefully by this time you can start to just not even think through masculine, feminine, or neuter. And not even think through nominative or ablative. And not even think through singular or plural. Hopefully you can just match endings, or better yet, match meanings. Opido magno. Imperio. Well, let's just put the answers up, down low, and you can read the reasons. And then I'll scroll up. Here were the answers to the two earlier sections that you did. All right, so going back to our objectives, hopefully you have learned to make adjectives agree with the nouns they modify in case, number, and gender. And you were hopefully able to do that last group of exercises. Have a good day.